Yo, Sanjay Uche here, people, giving you my review on Dragon Ball Super episode 89, which I thought was a pretty okay episode, entertaining in some aspects. But all in all, it was pretty okay. Nothing too um fan base shattering like Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken Goku versus Master Roshi. I'm just kidding, where that's concerned, but yeah, so this episode really follows Goku's journey, which is like, sorry about the background noise there, people. But yeah, this episode really revolves around Goku recruiting Tien and Master Roshi, the last two remaining persons that he needs for the Tournament of Power. The episode really made it clear that this takes place around the same time Gohan started training with Piccolo, so I guess at the start of the 23-hour mark, probably around there. But yeah, so we get to see Goku go to Master Roshi's, where Oolong points out to him that he's over at Tien Shinhan's dojo, which I found to be pretty cool. I mean, Tien was always one of those characters that was really devoted to the martial arts. So to actually see him actually start his own dojo, I think was really in line with his character that's been built up since Dragon Ball. But I mean, it really, in terms of his character dev, it really capped off in early Dragon Ball, but this really does fall in line with his character. So I thought that really added to the flair of the episode. So we go to the dojo and we get to see that Master Roshi has been invited as an honorary master of some sorts. And we get to see Tien interacting with his students. It was pretty cool to see, but the real, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? The point of conflict, or phrase rather. Yeah, the conflict in this episode really stems from this quote unquote new student called Urin, who we get to find out is actually a past co-student of Tien back when he was in the Crane martial arts school back in early Dragon Ball, I would suppose. But we get to find out that her motivations aren't really of the purest sense. So apparently she has some trivial grudge against Tien because he left the dojo. And I like how Tien himself even pointed this out in the episode. But apparently she herself isn't really all that good at martial arts. She's devoted her time to learning witchcraft or guzu. Yeah, so that's where her, I guess, competitive advantage lies in this episode. So we get to see Master Roshi being Master Roshi in this episode, and due to the fact that there's only males at the Tien's dojo, Yurin coming in was and interacting with Roshi was a point of entertainment for us the viewers. They expected Roshi being Roshi, the perverted old man. One thing I must say though, and a friend of mine pointed this out, this whole setup in this episode reminded us of this old Chinese movie setup. Students at the dojo, a threat comes, the master goes out to basically demonstrate why he's the master by actually defeating the opponent. But in this case, that doesn't work out because we get to find out that while Goku and Tien are interacting and talking about the Tournament of Power, Yurin sets out to essentially take over the students of the dojo by placing, I guess, I wouldn't say demonic, but witchcraft talismans on them, controlling them, and it's implied that their power is boosted. So they go basically wreck the town. Eventually, Goku and Tien come to the rescue of the townspeople, basically easily dispatching Tien's students, and with Roshi himself confronting Yurin, which was pretty funny as well. You got that one scene where Roshi saw her panties, ridiculous. But yeah, so Roshi being Roshi and being the pervert he is, lets his guard on falls under our control, and it's at this point that we get some interesting tidbits where we see Tien go up against Roshi, and it's heavily implied that Roshi is stronger than Tien at this point. But before all the power scaling police come running in, it's implied by Goku based on his small skirmish with Roshi that, well, he's deducing that Roshi has been training in secret For how long, at what point in time did he start? We don't know. Personally, for this episode to make even a sliver of sense where power scaling is concerned, I would assume that Roshi's been training since the end of the King Piccolo arc. And since he performed so well against Frieza's soldiers, that would make that would be the only logical explanation, really and truly, from my end. But not going too much into the power scaling. But for what it's worth, it wasn't really. Oh, sorry, my phone there. It wasn't really a big problem in this episode. Um, but if I were to dissect it, I guess I could find a problem in that for the anime adaptation of Super, and I'm sure you've heard this time and time again, that Goku in his base form, his power is essentially at least equal to or greater than what it was as a Super Saiyan God in the Battle of Gods arc because he absorbed all that power. So the anime adaptation's power scaling is a bit wonky, and this is essentially proven by the fact that back in the Planet Potofu arc, right, that small mini arc before the Goku Black arc, Copy Vegeta, who was as strong as base Vegeta, like beat Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks with no problem at all. So there's that. But whatever. Like whatever. Like Super the anime specifically, it's pretty wonky. But yeah. But one thing to know that I didn't mention as yet, Tien of course refuses Goku's offer or request to join the Tournament of Power. And I think that's what really brings down this episode. Also, as my friend was saying that, and I agree with him, it's kind of become all these recruiting episodes. They kind of just follow this general format that you could predict. Like Goku comes, they refuse, some point of conflict happens, and then they agrees afterwards. Like, yeah, we know. But yeah, these recruitment episodes aren't supposed to be the highlight of the arc, so I guess it's neither here nor there. So for what it's worth, I still think the episode is at least a strong 7, or low balling, I would say 6.5 to a 7 for me. It was entertaining, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I can't leave out the fact that the subplot of Kaba trying to recruit Khalifa, and we get to find out, and I know spoilers have been going left, right, and center since week, but yeah, we get to find out, yeah, Khalifa is not the female Broly. We get to see the two female Saiyans in this episode, which I found to be very interesting. The shift in tone from our present universe 7 to universe 6 was also very interesting. I know, it always seems I think it was what from last episode. Yeah, the shifts to see what happens in other universes is always fun to see. Very interesting. Nice little exchanges there between Kaba and the female Saiyans. So and of course Kaba showing off the Super Saiyan transformation helps to pique the Khalifa's interest in joining the Tournament of Power, where she herself didn't. She wasn't really interested, but eh. But all in all, I think by the end of this episode, eh, 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 scratch that. But yeah, by the end of this episode, after everything's resolved, Yurin decides to join Tien's dojo, and Roshi and Tien decide to join the team because they're interested in the $10 million that Goku's promoting, apparently. So yeah, that's really and truly your episode, and we get to find out that there's, if I'm not mistaken, shit, I think it's what 4 hours left, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so we know by this point Gohan's been training for an extra 5 hours. So there's that. But yeah, tell me what you thought about the episode if you've watched it. Rate, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. I kind of feel tempted to do like another like a power scale video for Super, pointing out certain stuff, but I don't know yet. Don't just keep your fingers crossed on that where that's concerned. But yeah, so this is Sanjay Uchiha. Hope you guys having a great night, and or depends on when you're listening to this. But yeah, hope you have a great day, night. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, see you in the next one.